initial thoughts, I was scared and I didn't know how I was gonna do this, and I was like, I'm so young. Like, this is like going down memory lane for me right now. What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hello, my name is Melanie. As you guys can tell in this video, we're doing another Q&A, but it's my maternity and my pregnancy and my motherhood video. I know it's been a hot minute since I uploaded, but there are more serious issues than YouTube and me uploading, and I just felt I needed to put my focus and my energy onto something else, and which was the whole George Folyd situation. Like, everyone, even that wasn't involved, was involved. Us as a society, us as humanity, needed to be his voice, and I will be linking petitions where we can sign and we can still keep this justice going on for him. And before anybody comes and attacks me in the comments down below, I am wearing a tube top. I actually got this one off my Shein video, which I will be linking down in my description down below if you haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty shocked with the amount of questions that I have received. Thank you for everybody that has sent me questions, and I'll try to do my best to answer all of them. Okay, I'm gonna start off with like my pregnancy and then go on to motherhood. Okay, what were your initial thoughts when you found out you were pregnant? Oh my gosh. This is like going down memory lane for me right now. I actually waited 1 week after I was late on my period just to confirm that I was a week late. And then I texted Dom. I was just like, you know what? And I remember it was a Wednesday too. And I texted him. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go after work and go to Jewel, and I'm just gonna buy a pregnancy test because I just can't deal with this anymore, because if I am, I need to know now so I can take the right precautions and let's think about it, and if I'm not, then I'm just messing with my mind at this point. And so he texts me, okay, just wait for me, I'll be there, just wait for me. And then so whatever, by the time I got the test and by the time I got to my house, he was already there. So whatever, I go take the test and I waited 3 minutes, and I was so scared to even look at it. Like, I didn't even know what to do. Like, it's like you want to look at it but you don't. And so whatever, we looked at it and I was in complete shock. Like, I was waiting for the numbers, like I was waiting for the 2 signs to disappear and just appear to be 1. I don't know what I was thinking, but I remember as soon as I looked at it, I think I started crying, but not too much because I didn't want, my family to hear me. And honestly, like, Dom was so calm about it. Like, he was just like reassuring me, like, as long as we stay together, like as long as we stick together, like everything will be fine. And after that, like, it was pretty smooth sailing after that. Like, that night, of course, like, you're gonna think like, wow, I'm pregnant, like this is gonna change my life forever. But I was the scared one. My initial thoughts, I was scared and I didn't know how I was gonna do this, and I was like, I'm so young. Like, I've only got to experience being 21 for like 4 months. Those are my initial thoughts. I hope I answered that rightly. But how did your family and Dom's family handle the news? So how my family found out, oh my gosh, this is so bad. My parents actually reacted really calmly. It's like my mom knew already, so like she just straight up asked me, and I started crying. I was like, no, no. And then she goes, look at me. And then of course, like, I'm looking at her eyes and it's just like balled out. And I'm like, yes, like, yes. And so my mom, like, I felt like my mom, she was so understanding and wasn't upset with me at all, because my mom was a teen mom. She had me, she got pregnant at 18 and had me at 19. She just like reassured me that she would be there for me because she didn't have the support from my grandparents back then. And then my stepdad was like, oh, like, he just waited to see how my mom reacted, and then he was just like, okay, like, you just, and then he like kind of like sat down with me and just like, what, it's not easy and stuff. So after that whole conversation, I texted them, like, I told them, like, and I was like, and they were really calm about it. So he was just like, he felt like I kind of left them out of the loop and was so eager to tell his parents like that night. I was like, no, you have to wait, like, you have to do it calmly. And he was just like not going for it. And we go to his house, and I kid you not, it's like what, like 9 o'clock by that time, and his parents are already like getting ready for bed. They're watching TV, and right before Dom's dad goes to bed, Dom goes, you guys are gonna be grandparents. Like, his mom was sitting next to me, and she goes, yeah, right, because he's always joked like to them about that. And then he goes, no, seriously. And I'm like so nervous. I was like, I don't know what to do. Dom's dad, he was just like, he wasn't really happy. And I was honestly thinking out of all of our parents, he was gonna be the one that was so thrilled and so happy. He definitely was not. And like a week later, like he was fine and obviously was thrilled about it, but he just needed that 1 week to like really process it. So yeah, that was their reaction. My next question is, any weird cravings? Yes. In the beginning of my pregnancy, it was weird. Anything I ate, I put lemon on it. Whether it was pizza, whether it was yogurt, anything you can imagine me eating, I ate it with lemon. Cravings are smells that you didn't like while you're pregnant. I really didn't. I don't know if I didn't really like anything. But I do remember we went to the grocery store and we got like this meat or whatever. We put it in the cart and it was already marinated. And I could smell the marinated seasonings. Like I could smell the seasonings from the package. Like I was so weird. I swear to God, pregnancy was on a whole nother level with me. What was your pregnancy and delivery experience? I was truly blessed with such an amazing pregnancy. I really didn't have any morning sickness. I really wasn't vomiting at all. The only thing that really started like to grow was by my 6th month, I started getting Braxton contractions. And those hurt so much. Like I'd be at work and I'd get them out of nowhere and I had to stop whatever I was doing and just like hold on to something because the pain level was unbearable. Like at one point I started crying and I had to call my doctor just because I didn't know if I was going in labor or not, and she was just telling me like just to time him and she'll call me back like in 10 minutes. I was timing it, but they really didn't last. Maybe they would last about like 3 minutes and then they'd go away. Then she was just letting me know that, oh, you may have Braxton contractions. So I did kind of get those frequently. I think out of my entire pregnancy, Braxton contractions were the worst. But my delivery experience was pretty good, honestly. I actually got in labor at work. I remember I was working my full shift and I was getting my contractions from 4 o'clock. And I remember I ended work at 9 o'clock. And I was just like, you know what, like I'm going, like I can feel my contractions, and they were actually very close, but I didn't want to leave work. I was just so hard-headed. And I remember my coworkers was just like, you know what, like you're in labor, like it looks like you're having contractions like really frequently, and you should definitely call your hospital just so they can have a room ready for you and they have all your papers. And so I called them and then they were just like, you know what, like we really don't know if you're in labor until we check you out, but they did have like me signed up for everything. So then I called Dominic and he was actually working with his dad on the condo, like trying to just fix things up for us. And then I was like, you know, I don't know if I'm going into labor, but I'm having contractions really bad. And then he was like, okay, but I have to go home because like he was all in pain from working on like a place. And then I was like, okay, fine, but just hurry up. And I remember driving home and I'm like blasting on the radio because of how much pain I was in, and I don't even know how I managed to get home, but luckily I was only like 10 minutes from my job. And my mom was just like, you know what, let's just see if you're really in labor, like because if I go over there and I'm not even like dilated to a certain amount, they're just gonna send me right back home. And so I kid you not, we're in the living room and we're trying to watch, like we should put on a show, and not even 20 minutes, like I've had like at least maybe 10 contractions within that time, and she was like, no, you're in labor. And I don't even think I had my hospital bag ready, really. Like I had a few things, but at that moment I was just stuffing whatever I had. It was truly like a movie. Like I honestly thought I was gonna go over my due date and like be having to be induced, but I was 2 weeks early. We parked by the emergency entrance and we go to the counter. And then we're just like, you know what, he was speaking for me actually because I was having a contraction at that point. And then he goes like, oh no, we have to hear it from her. And then I was like, I couldn't even get the words out of my mouth. Like he just saw the amount of pain and I was like gonna cry. And then all I hear like in the back is this man, and he goes, oh ma'am, you can sit down. And he already had a wheelchair for me. Like I truly feel like it was truly from like a movie scene. And then so whatever, Dom's just rolling me in. Out into the picture that Dominic took when we were in the elevator room going like to the labor floor. At that point, like I spent so many hours, you know, like dealing with the contractions, and they weren't even at their peaks. Like they were still minimum. Like they haven't even like graduated. And I was like, you know what, I can't handle this pain. Like I just need the epidural. Proud to say I got an epidural because, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. The majority of the women in the world get, you know, epidurals, and I hate that women and adults like mom shame us for getting epidurals. Like You know, like, who cares? Like, as long as I got my child safe into this world, it's none of your business. It doesn't matter how you birthed your son or how he was birthed or she, you know, as long as they got here healthy, that's all that matters. So stop mom shaming us women. You know, stop mom shaming us for those who have C-sections. Like, who cares? It's none of your business. Yeah. After me getting my epidural, I was sleeping the entire night. But of course, like, I would wake up when the nurses would come check my vitals or check if I was dilated. But as soon as they left, I knocked out. Like, once 5 o'clock hit, I remember the nurse came and she checked how dilated I was, and I was ready to go. I believe I was like 9 centimeters dilated. So I remember, like, I was pushing for an hour and they had me doing all these positions, I don't even know what. And then my baby was born at 6:59 in the morning. My next question is, did you experience postpartum depression, and if so, how did you get through it? Personally, I did not go through postpartum depression, but I did go through a little phase where, like, I didn't want to get ready, I guess you can say. Like, I was just like lazy, so tired, and just cared, like, I was just constantly just thinking about my son. And so I guess I went through a little phase like that, but I can't say I went through postpartum depression. What names did you decide between? Did you hope for a girl or a boy? So I always wanted a boy. You know, my first child, I always wanted it to be a boy just because I am the oldest of 2 younger brothers, and I always wish I had an older sibling just because I didn't have to be, you know, the leader and set examples. Dominic and his family wanted a girl because they don't have any girls in their family. It's all boys. And then what names do you decide between on? So if it was gonna be a girl, her name was gonna be Sophia. We did have names that we liked for the boys, but we never decided, oh, we truly love that one, as we did for Austin. Who named your son? That would be me. We didn't have any names lined up as we did for the girls. Like, we had options with the girl, but we didn't have any options if we were to have a boy. But I did like Ethan, but it just felt like it wouldn't go right with like Melanie, Dominic, Ethan. Like, I just felt like it didn't ring. And then what else did he like? He liked Nathaniel, but he has a Nathaniel, like, in his family he has a little cousin, and I like know so many Nathaniels and I wasn't really like fond to it. So because of the Ace family, we named him after Austin. We not named him after Austin, we got the name from Austin. What was the silliest thing you cried over or got mad while pregnant? I don't really know. Dom.
Yeah?
Alright, the question is, what is the silliest thing you cried over or got mad while pregnant? Hi, baby. What is it?
Me stopping at home before coming to school after work.
Come on, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, you had a pretty good. Well, I remember there was that one you got mad. That's about it.
Alright, whatever, I guess I'll take it. Okay, and then my last question is, best and worst part so far in your experience. Okay, let's start off with the worst part first. I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it'd just be like the freedom we had like before the baby. Like, we were just talking about it the other day, like, it's getting nice outside, and I remember us just, oh, like, this is the type of weather we would have been at the beach, or, you know, just barbecuing, or, you know, just hanging out. So definitely the freedom we had. It obviously has to be like about my son, because he has changes for the better. I'm happy to be a mom today, and I'm happy where my life is at. Guys, that was it for my pregnancy and motherhood journey video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.